Hello everyone, I'm Bone Girl. And I'm the Barbarian. And this is Looking for Epic, where we look at things that might be epic, try to decide whether or not they are, and then try to understand why. Oh, hi.
Vampire Hunter D is a series of 21 novels written by Hideyuki Kikuchi, the author of Dark Side Blues, Wicked City, and Demon City Shinjuku. The novels have been published since 1983 and have been adapted into comics, a video game, and 2 animated films. The first film, released in 1985,
The best year ever.
was titled simply Vampire Hunter D. It was directed by Tuyu Ahita, who also directed The Ultimate Teacher and did artwork for Dr. Mario 64. He did other things, but those are the ones we chose to focus on.
Anytime there's more than one of something, I always think it might be sort of epic. Tell me that there's one Deathstalker movie, I don't get very excited. You tell me that there's 4, I start to think maybe there's something going on there I might like. Granted, I'm almost always wrong, but this guy wrote 21 books, so I think the least we can do is sit through one movie based on them. Let's enjoy.
Thousands of years ago, into the future.
Awesome. Are we supposed to be looking at the cross or the breasts?
So, red hair and blue eyes. I guess she's not Japanese.
No, she's enemies.
Ah.
Oh good, this animation style.
A whip? Come on, who fights monsters with a whip?
Vampires have tachyon shielding. Good to know. Vash the Stampede? Vampire Hunter Herbal Essence.
You could play handball on that forehead.
So the girl tries to hire Dee to hunt vampires for her, and she does this in kind of a weird way, which the Barbarian and I are going to reenact for you.
Who do you think you are? A vampire hunter? You don't look very tough to me. You probably couldn't even defeat a small rodent. I choose you, Neville T. Ferret. Ah! You defeated my ferret! You actually are a real vampire hunter. It's true, isn't it? Don't you understand you have to help me? How can you be so cruel? Won't you tell me what I have to say to make you help me? Do you think I'm cute?
Wolverines!
Wait, that is a mechanical horse, isn't it? Our heroine rejects this man because of his ridiculous hair.
Have you forgotten the events that took place 50 years ago?
50 years ago, you say?
50 years have passed.
50 years ago.
50 years have passed since your demise.
You and your sister are in for some rough times, Dan. So go ahead and cry if you need to. There's no shame in crying when there's good reason.
You gonna cry? You wanna cry? Cry, baby, cry!
Tell me about this vampire.
Count Magnus Lee. He ruled here before the village was built, but he hasn't lived here for a long time. Then 2 years ago, we saw lights in his castle. That's when we knew he'd returned. No one knows for certain how old he is, but it's been said he's lived for over 5,000 years.
Wolves and mutants remove such obstacles. We need more. To resist his summons, you must be in a deep sleep.
So Dee fights with Count Magnus's daughter and her sidekick Billy Idol, impressing them with his badass fighting moves. They learn that he's half vampire, fail to kill him, and run away like babies.
Why don't you answer? Why don't you answer?
And who might you be?
The three sisters. The three sisters.
Angel.
That's quite a profile. And that's even worse.
What does she feed herself with that tiny little mouth.
You see, my friends are quite fond of raw meat.
If anything happens to them, I'll bite off my tongue and bleed to death, I swear!
The Count ordered me to bring you to him intact, so you leave me no choice.
Not like I could somehow restrain you from doing that with my superpowers.
The snake women are extracting your friend's life force. I've never seen them in such ecstasy. They've been intoxicated with their silly pleasures all day.
Angel.
Dee escapes the life-sucking snake women, rescues the orange-haired girl, and is attacked by this weirdy pants.
But why should they kidnap my brother when the one the Count wants is me? What does it say? Let me see. I don't understand.
This is a picture of two camels humping.
So Billy Idol gets a magic candle that will paralyze Dee and make him easy to kill. How will Dee triumph? That was disappointingly easy.
Hey, here. You could be... Oh, Dee, if anything were to happen to you...
Doris.
Dee, don't you understand? Please, please, just let me hold you for a while.
Man, she is really little compared to him.
Dee, you can if you want to.
Why didn't he just kill this guy?
It wouldn't have been honorable.
I think if a guy comes at you saying, I'm gonna kill you, and you kill him, that's honorable.
He cut off his hand. You can't kill a guy who doesn't have a hand.
It was his left hand.
He's Japanese. They're all lefties.
What? No, they're not.
Link is.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean... Magnus prepares to marry the girl, but then his servant, angry at being denied a promotion, betrays him. It doesn't go so well.
Dee shows up and fights Magnus, and Magnus talks non-stop, spilling about 50 pages of dialogue. In summary, Dee is Dracula's son, and Magnus's daughter is really, really emo about the fact that her mom was a peasant. She kills herself, and Magnus gets axed. Montage it.
Get out of here, flutterbugs!
One thing we can say is that D accessorizes like a god. Cape, hat, Dracula trophy, sword. If this movie had a budget and a little more time and effort put into it, it would have been a really great movie. As it is, though, it has some problems.
Yeah, the main one is the animation. This movie is horrifically ugly. It's dark, it's gross, you can't see things, the action is shot terribly, the people's faces are just horrifically deformed and weird. I mean, a lot of 1980s anime has these same problems. Bubblegum Crisis, Speed Racer, Voltron, Akira. This was just a bad period in animation, and I don't really hold that against the movies per se, but this one in particular is the worst drawn anime I've ever seen, and it has a withering effect on you as you watch the film.
You have to say Akira. The story is actually pretty good. It's the standard wandering hero type thing that we see in a lot of westerns, but it's not executed very well. There's a lot of exposition packed into long, boring speeches, and that love scene in the middle was really awkward. Came out of nowhere and was dropped immediately. There are a lot of plot holes, like the fact that the whole plot moves forward on the fact that Dee refuses to kill people that are obviously evil and are just going to come back and try and kill him again later.
Yeah, overall, it was good, it was enjoyable, but it had a lot of problems. Unless you're a big fan of the character or a big fan of anime, I probably wouldn't really recommend this. But I look forward to seeing the character again in the next movie, hopefully with some higher production values and slightly more interesting writing behind him. I would give this one a B. Arthur.
I give it 7 ferrets. I'm Bone Girl, and I have work to do.
And I'm the Barbarian. This has been Looking for Epic. I'll be waiting on the moon.
Ha 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 ha!